Is it possible to accept your body and still want to change it? Raise your hand if you've ever thought doing body image healing means I'm going to have to gain a bunch of weight and just accept it. And I don't want to accept it. Or I don't want to work on body acceptance because I've gained weight and I don't like how my body looks. Then this episode is for you. Hi, I'm Natalie Rose and welcome back to Wake Up, the podcast that helps you think less about food in your body and more about truly living. I get it because I've been there. I used to believe that accepting my body meant giving up on change entirely, and that terrified me. And when my body started gaining weight against my will, when circumstances in my life changed, I panicked and crumbled. The fear of weight gain had held me back from doing good things for my body, like eating a wider variety of food and nutrients, or pursuing a healthier relationship with my body. And when I started gaining that weight, I felt stuck because I desperately wanted my body to go back to how it was before. But I didn't want to slip back into restrictive eating patterns that made me feel deprived and interfered with my life. I liked having pizza nights with my partner and not feeling guilty about it, but I was emotionally struggling with the changes that were happening to my body. I felt completely worthless as my body was starting to resemble the body that I had been running away from for so many years. And I tried to find a therapist to help me with those big emotions, but I was actually turned away because I didn't meet criteria for an eating disorder. So they couldn't offer me eating disorder treatment. And I was like, I just need someone to help me feel better in my body. Like, I'm freaking out. How do you deal with this? How do you deal with these body changes? And I couldn't find a therapist. And that was really scary. I felt lost, confused. And I was also frustrated by the way that body positivity was portrayed in social media because I wasn't ready to just accept my body as it was, but I didn't want to have to sit with the discomfort that I was feeling. But I'm so glad that I stuck with the process without turning back to dieting because I learned that body acceptance doesn't mean forcing yourself to love every part of your body or even gaslighting yourself into thinking that you don't want to be thinner. It means making peace with your body and with who you are underneath your external appearance without letting your desire for thinness dictate your life and how you feel about yourself. And so as I threw myself into body image healing research and furthered my career as a therapist specializing in body image, I completely understand why it's so hard to give up the desire to shrink your body. And I also know that healing doesn't come from getting the perfect body. It comes from learning how to live fully in the body that you're in without letting discomfort hold you back, because that discomfort is ultimately what leads to personal growth. And here's what nobody tells you. Healing your body image doesn't mean giving up on change. It means changing from a place of self-respect, not self-hatred. So before we get into what a healthy body image is, if it even exists, it does. Let's first explore what isn't a healthy body image. An unhealthy body image is waking up already thinking about your weight, heading straight to the mirror or the scale. It's avoiding mirrors, photos, people, and events because you don't like how you look. It's obsessing over every bite, every workout, every flaw. And it's believing that your worth is directly tied to how thin or attractive you are. From the age of 6 to 26, thoughts about my body consumed me. I spent hours trying to cleanse my skin or cover it up with makeup, desperate to fix what I perceived were flaws. When I was 10, my mom caught me with diet pills, which were dangerous for my heart, especially because I have a hereditary heart condition. I cycled through countless diets that failed. If you name a diet, I bet you I have tried it and it failed me. I missed out on social events, trips, weddings, and relationships because I was so ashamed of my body. Every disappointment in my life, I blamed my body because I'm not thin enough. It's because I'm not pretty enough. It's because my teeth aren't white enough. If only I looked like them, then I would be popular, liked, and happy. I swung between extremes, either forcing myself to exercise in hopes of shrinking my body or avoiding movement altogether because I didn't think it was going to make a difference. And even when I lost the weight and achieved my ideal body, it was never enough. I waited for the praise from those who told told me to watch out for weight gain, but that never came. No matter how small I got, I could always find something wrong. Breaking free from the obsession wasn't about suddenly loving my body. It was about learning to nourish it and then digging deep into my thoughts and beliefs about my body, figuring out where they came from and whether I agreed with those beliefs or still wanted to hold them. I faced the emotions that were lurking beneath my self-hatred and fixation with my body, like loneliness and the fear of rejection. And ultimately, I found my worth in places that had nothing to do with my appearance. Ironically, my body became the least interesting thing about my life. I still have judgments about my body sometimes, like I'm only human, but they pass quickly and I don't latch onto them because I know that they no longer align with my core values. I take care of my body and it takes care of me. So what actually is body image? Body image isn't just about what you see in the mirror or in photos. It is shaped by your emotions, your perceptions, and your experiences. For example, personal experiences, the comments that you received about your body growing up, praise or shame around your weight, the message you learned when you saw your mom criticizing herself in photos or refusing to eat the same food that you or the rest of the family were eating. Or maybe it was your dad fat shaming those in larger bodies. Of course, the culture and media play a huge role, which we know, the ever-changing beauty standards that are impossible to keep up with, the way some bodies are valued more than others, and self-worth. Our body image can be directly tied to our self-worth. The more we tie our appearance to our worth, the harder it is to detach from it. I always say, whatever you find yourself obsessed with, there's some kind of link to your self-worth. To release the obsession, you have to detach that from your sense of value. Now, a healthy body image doesn't mean loving your body 24/7. It doesn't even necessarily mean liking it. If you do like your body, that's great. But what it means is that you're able to notice body changes without spiraling. It's about making food and movement choices based on how you feel and how to meet your needs versus on what you think you should look like. It's about trusting, a deep sense of knowing that you are valuable and that has nothing to do with your pant size. It's about creating space for self-respect, especially on the bad body image days, which we all have. So back to the question of the hour, can you accept your body and still want to change it? Yes, but the why and the how matter. If your desire for change comes from fear, shame, or belief that you're not good enough, then no amount of change will feel like enough. But if your desire for change comes from care, like wanting to build strength or feel more energized or improve your well-being, then it's a different story. And to go a step further, I think you can have aesthetic goals while accepting your body, like wanting to be more toned or even liking how your body looks. But I believe aesthetic goals can only be achieved in a healthy way after you've done the deeper work of healing your body image, after rebuilding your self-worth, and once you feel self-assured and secure in your relationships. And here's why. Because at the end of the day, your dedication to your mental health and well-being must be stronger than your desire to tone your arms. If it is not, then the toning of the arms or the building of the booty or whatever it is can easily revert back into that obsession. So I'm going to say that again. Sure, I think aesthetic goals can be possible and attainable as a person who accepts your body, but it must come at a time when you've done the deeper healing work. Because at the end of the day, your dedication to yourself and your mental health and your well-being must be stronger than the desire to change your body. Healthy change is about addition, not subtraction. It's about adding nourishment, energy, and strength, not about making yourself smaller. So what does a healthy body image actually look like? Well, you might still have moments where you notice your pants feel tight or your clothes just don't fit the way that you want them to, but you don't panic. You just move on. You decide that the clothes don't fit you, not the other way around. There might still be days when you catch yourself in the mirror and think how much better you look or feel if you were leaner. But you start to realize that those thoughts don't control you anymore. They're fleeting. You can move on from them. You might get comments about your body, whether from others others or from your own inner critic. Some days they'll sting, but you'll find your sense of self-worth isn't defined by someone else's opinions or those fleeting thoughts. There might even be moments where you worry about whether you're good enough for someone else to love you, whether a partner will accept your body. But over time, you'll understand that the love and acceptance that you're seeking can only come from you first, or through the development of healthy relationships in which you feel secure. Sometimes you won't even know what you look like, and that's okay because it doesn't trigger you like it used to when you were struggling with your body image. You just accept that your perception changes from moment to moment, depending on how you feel, how much sleep you got the night before, what's happening with your hormones. And that's okay, because not knowing what you look like no longer determines your feelings of safety in the world. And no matter what your body image looks like or feels like, whether good or bad, it doesn't determine how you live your life or how you meet your needs. When your clothes don't fit the way that you want them to, or you feel self-conscious, it's just a moment. It doesn't derail your whole day or change how you show up and nourish yourself. And those old thoughts and worries about your body will still come up here and there. Some might hang around, others will fade. Either way, they don't control how you show up. And most importantly, you'll prioritize your mental well-being over everything else. And when you protect that, you'll find more peace no matter what your body looks like. So before we wrap up, I want to share with you a few ways that you can start cultivating a healthier body image without changing your body. If you do decide to continue the pursuit of changing your body one day, that change will come from your intuition, your highest self, as some people call it, your compassionate best self, whatever you want to call it, because the healthiest, happiest version of you knows that true change can only come from acceptance. Number one, challenge the narrative. Who taught you to see your body this way? What messages shaped your beliefs? And more importantly, do you agree with those messages? For example, one day I realized that I didn't really think it was fair to judge someone based on how they looked. I don't know anything about their history. I don't know why their weight is the way it is. I don't know anything about them. So why should I judge them? Why was I judging myself? And if your next thought is, sure, Natalie, I can stop judging myself, but other people are going to judge me. Well, then the real question becomes, do you really want to surround yourself with people who can't see beyond your body? Number two, rewire your daily habits. Stop body checking. Unfollow accounts that reinforce unrealistic ideals or who Photoshop their pictures. Start exposing your brain to different possibilities. Part of the reason you're fixated on achieving this ideal body is because that's the message that your brain has been fed over and over and over for the majority of your life. Remember, your brain is like a computer. It only knows what it has been programmed with. So shift the narrative, diversify your social media feed, spend more time out in the real world where people with bodies of all types exist. Number three is engage in self-care that is unrelated to your appearance. Build a life that has nothing to do with changing your body. Take up a new class, develop a new skill, read a book outside of your usual interests. Explore what brings you joy beyond your appearance. It's okay to love healthy food and exercise. That is okay. I'm not telling you to stop loving the things that you do love and really enjoy. But what I am telling you is to balance it out with other interests and skills and forms of exploration. Because the more you invest in who you are, the less power your body holds over how you feel about yourself. And lastly, find spaces that support your healing. You're not meant to do this alone. The right community can shift your whole perspective. For me, that first space was the community that I was building on Instagram. My husband didn't fully understand what I was going through. My family couldn't relate. My friends tried, but they didn't quite get it. But on Instagram, I found people who did. And that's exactly why I created a community, my group coaching membership, so that I could take it a step further and provide not just support, but real guidance and transformation for those who are ready to heal their relationship with their body. So in this episode, we explored what an unhealthy body image looks like, what is body image, what a healthy body image can look like, and a few fundamental steps to building body acceptance. And in honor of Wake Up Wednesday, I'd love to invite you to reflect on this one question. What would a healthier relationship with your body look like for you? If you're not sure how to answer that, think about this. Imagine waking up in the morning. How do you want to feel in your body? What does a good day look like for you? What are you doing on the weekends? What are you saying yes to that you used to hold yourself back from because of body image? In other words, what does life look like when you're no longer stuck in the cycle of obsessing over your body, but instead your body is simply carrying you through a life that feels confident, full, and free? The more specific you get, the more helpful this reflection question is going to be in terms of next steps. And feel free to comment below, whether you're listening to this on the podcast or watching this on YouTube. Let's continue the conversation. So if you're struggling with your body right now and thinking a healthy body image is impossible, or you're still skeptical, I want you to know this. You are not broken, you are not trapped, and you are not helpless. It makes total sense that it feels hard to let go of the pursuit of weight loss. And it's okay if you're not ready to fully accept your body right now. You don't have to force yourself to love your body either. What you can do, which will be a lot more helpful in all areas of your life, is start shifting the way you see yourself beneath your physical appearance, little by little. Over time, your body will stop feeling like a battle to win, and it will start feeling like a place that you simply exist in. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week.